Hey, Mike from the Fulcrum here. Just enjoying another almost perfect day. You wonder, well, how do you make a perfect day? Pretty simple, actually. Your perfect day today starts yesterday evening. You want to have a perfect day, my opinion anyway, is to have a plan A and a plan B, depending on what the weather's going to be. You can check the Weather Channel, see what the weather's going to be like tomorrow, but you never know. Sometimes things can change relatively quickly, and your plans all go by the wayside. So set two plans. One for inclement weather, one for weather going to behave the way they said it was. Another thing you can do is the night before, figure, okay, you're going to start your day, you want a perfect day. What I generally do is I have my Spotify list set up for the type of music I like. As soon as I get up in the morning, I crank that on. I do my Qigong exercises and my Wim Hof deep breathing. Hop in the shower, come out from that, and I make a perfect breakfast. The breakfast is perfect because I remembered the night before to stop by the store, pick up the bacon and eggs and the pancake mix and the blueberries or whatever else I was going to have. So I know my breakfast is going to be exactly the way I want it, with exactly the ingredients I need. No surprises. Yes, there's cream for the coffee, and yes, the berries have been defrosted or they're fresh, whatever. You make a basic list up the night before, get things in order, even real important things like checking to make sure that you have clean underwear. Half your day could go down the tube because you don't have clean laundry, or that shirt you wanted to wear isn't clean, or something's at the cleaners. So you have like a short checklist of what you need to make the start of your new day a perfect day. And that's what I do. And the other part is using the KISS principle. Like, keep it simple, stupid. Don't try and make things too complicated. I know myself, my regular mornings have pretty much the same pathway now that I've got into the swing of things. What no one tells you about retirement is that, the first couple of weeks is like being on vacation in Mexico. You look forward to a great anticipation, and then you go to this resort, and after about the first week and a half, you begin to realize the food's not that great. You can't stand the people living next door, and room service could be a lot better than what it is. You begin to realize that, yeah, you need a real good reason to get up in the morning. Otherwise, you find yourself 3 weeks in, still in your pajamas and your fuzzy slippers, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and arguing with the women on The View. Not a healthy place for any man, and it goes downhill from there. You can end up in existence where you really have no plan to do anything. Your physical health goes downward. You start binge eating. You start staying up late. Your nights become days. Before you know it, you're an insomniac. I've seen this happen many times with friends of mine who are retired from fairly active lives where they're up at 6 o'clock in the morning, not often home till 5:30, 6, 7 o'clock at night during the seasons, particularly if they're in blue-collar trades. Sometimes the same even with the white-collar, working extra hours at the office, coming home burned out. Once you're retired, it's a whole new ballgame because now you have all these extended hours ahead of you with nothing planned. Now, I'm not saying you have to plan every minute of every day, but it's important that you have like a basic outline of how you start your day. Make sure that you have everything lined up so when you do start your day, there's no nasty surprises. No, you don't have a flat tire in the car. There's gas in the car if you're going to go for a drive. This time of the year, I often pre-pack a beach bag that's in the trunk of my Miata. In that, I have like the suntan lotion, I have towels, change of clothes, beach shoes because it's a bit rocky at some of the beaches I go to on the shoreline. I'll often take a spare Bluetooth speaker with me that's fully charged so I can listen to music while I'm there. And of course, throw in a snack, things that are relatively have like a trail mix or something, just to have a little something to munch on while I'm there. And I'll pack a thermos as well. So all that's in the trunk of the car. So if I decide that I'm just going to go to the beach that day or I happen to be close to one, I just turn and go and I've got all that stuff in the trunk. I don't have to make any changes. Saves you a lot of time. Same thing with going to the gym. I have two gym bags. One that stays in my bedroom that's packed, ready to go, and I got one in the trunk so I can rotate through them. So my gym gear gets rotated so it can be washed and everything else. So no surprises. So one of the great advantages of being retired is you can up and go whenever you pretty much want to up and go. So anything really holding you back is not being prepared to do so. So that's another hint that I would do. Another thing too is I get into the idea of breakfast. Uh, there's those of us, like for myself, for example, I tend to use intermittent fasting. I don't always have breakfast. Quite often, my first meal of the day might not be till 11:30 or noon, which becomes my breakfast. It's still bacon and eggs, and I'll have another meal around 4:30 or so. Usually no later than 5, because I find that if you push your last meal of the day later in the evening, it affects your sleep patterns. It's best to have several hours of digestion going on before you go to bed. You're less likely to get things like acid reflux and gas and all that kind of thing. Because after all, our digestive systems don't work as well as they used to when we were teenagers. Those days of eating like an extra large piece of yourself and half a dozen beer and then crashing into bed half an hour later are long behind us, not recommended. But a lot of the seasonal day stuff is something you have to think about as well. Different times you have everything ready. Like, for example, I cross-country ski in the winter. I have a mountain bike I ride in the winter as long as the trails are clear enough, there's not too much ice. So I make sure that all my gear for that, like my clothing gear, like my riding gear, my skiing gear, are hung on a hook right by my bedroom door. It's all ready to go. My skis are right by the back door, basically from the third week of December to about the second week of March when the season's over here. I have 2 bikes. Road bike that I ride pretty much all spring, summer, and fall, and the mountain bike, of course, I ride in inclement weather or if I plan on going on trails. So both of those are always ready. I have patch kits and all the tools I need in both bikes, so there's no surprises. Even if I do go out and get a flat, I'm all prepared. No emergency calls to anybody to have to come pick me up. Same thing goes with the car. I have a CIA, which would be the AAA in the United States, where if my car does break down, I make one phone call, they come with a flatbed. The whole works of us get shipped back home or to the garage of my choice within 150 miles. So that's covered. So that's the best part about being retired. If you have no worries, look for the potential worries you could have and eliminate them as well. Again, keep it simple. I know it all sounds rather basic when I explain it this way, but a lot of people don't think about it this way. They don't plan ahead for things like retirement. They just want to let it go. They figure, well, I'm going to be retired and do whatever I want. That's fine and dandy, but if you don't plan things out, as I said, you find yourself sitting on the couch till 3 o'clock in the afternoon watching reruns, and it's not a healthy place to be. Another thing, too, if you do have activities you like doing that give you great joy, that help make your perfect day, find a club in your area. For example, if you're into cycling, find a cycling club, or hiking, or canoeing, or there's different activities. Like in my neighborhood, for example, they have what's called dragon boating, where there's long rowboat with about 15, 20 people all paddling like mad. And they train all summer, and they have races towards the end of July, early in August, competition. So they're out there every evening, basically, paddling away and training. You get to meet a lot of friends, and quite often afterwards, everybody goes out for a drink or dinner. And it's a great fun activity I've done myself. So if you have an activity, find a club locally that you can enjoy it with other people. And then that solves another bugaboo you find with retirement. You may be retired, but a lot of people you know that you're working with are still in the working mode. You'll soon find out that they have very little time for you because they're still in that mode. They don't have the free time you do. And eventually, when you're not on the job, you fade from their memory, and new people come into their work friends group. Most people you know at work really are not your friends. They're just people you are enslaved with for a period of time, working under a common warlord, so to speak. So that pretty much covers it. So you want to have a perfect day. Keep it simple. Make a basic plan the night before. Make sure you have everything you need so that you start out your day, no worries. You got everything ready to go. Decide you want to hop in the car, hop on the bike, hop in the canoe, whatever. You're ready to do it. No problem. Always make sure your phone is charged up. It's always a good idea, too, if you have any health issues, to leave notifications on your phone that, for example, if you don't appear home within a certain number of hours, they'll know where to find your body. Sounds comical, but this has happened. People have gone into the woods and disappeared, and no one knows where they are. And particularly if you're in a situation where your kids have moved away from the area, or you don't have a lot of close ties where someone's seeing you every day, this is a very reasonable proposition. You could be back in the woods, up a trail, fall down, hurt your ankle, you can't get out, bash your head or whatever, and find yourself with no way out. Anyway, on that positive note, as always, breathe deep, think clearly, enjoy each day, and get off your butt, do a little planning, make your perfect day.